Dear participants, we are back now, and I am requesting to the respected speaker to resume the session.
Thank you, Dr. Manishji. So, as we have discussed in the previous PPT, that is related to the here the development and the design of the system. Whatever is the here the stage, whether it is the at the here very basic level, that is the from the definition level, or it is at the level of the implementation, the different types of the mathematical equations are needed to be analyzed here. And for the purpose of the analysis of these equations, we are just going to describe here the some concepts of the MATLAB and why we are using the MATLAB. We are starting the concepts of the MATLAB from the very beginning, that is from the zero level, and then there may be the participants who are very expert and who have very excellent knowledge in the field of the MATLAB. But we have targeted this webinar to be started from the very basic level. That's why we are starting it from the zero level here. So first of all, we will introduce about the basic concepts of the MATLAB, starting from the very beginning, and we will describe some here the commands and some here the functions and toolboxes, and then in the next lectures we will also describe the application here. And as we know, this is easy to program and similar to other languages such as C, highly integrated with better expansion capability, powerful numerical methods for the various maths problem and symbolic computation, numerous toolboxes in different math and engineering and non-engineering fields, powerful dynamic system simulation and the GUI based Simulink modeling, and number one language in automatic control community. That's why we are going to describe this one. And as we know, here the MATLAB is developed by the MathsWorks, and here it is software environment for interactive numerical computations, for example, matrix computations and the linear algebra, solving non-linear equations, numerical solutions of the differential equations, mathematical optimization, statistics and the data analysis, signal processing, modeling of the dynamical systems, solving practical differential equations, simulation of the engineering system here. And these are the different fields of whether that may be the automobile, communication, analysis, or aerospace, whatever is the field of engineering, each and every field is covered with the help of the MATLAB here. And in this lecture, and we are just going to cover here the background of the MATLAB, interactive calculations, vectors and matrices, and the graphical illustrations here. The basic knowledge, what are the prerequisites? Basic knowledge from the calculus and the linear algebra, basic programming skills, and internet and the computer experience, and the most important thing is the curiosity in order to learn and understand the MATLAB. We know the MATLAB is the matrix laboratory, and we are coming to the point here that the construction is here the core functionality is compiled with the C routine here, and most functionality is given as the M files grouped into toolboxes, and means M files are grouped, then there are the different types of the toolboxes like the signal processing control system, and here the M files are platform independent, and simulation of the dynamical system is performed in the using the different types of the block model, that is the Simulink here. Here the desktop tool, we will use here the command window for in order to type the commands, workspace to view program variables, clear to clear, double click on a variable to see it in the array editor, command history that is to be used, view past commands, launchpad, access tools, demos, and the documentation here. Here the syntax and the logic helps. There will be a prompt something like in this manner, and if we write here the help, then function name, then we will get the information about this function name here. And here the informations are available on this one, that is the www.mathsworks.com, and some toolboxes, and the here the some MATLAB facilities are also available on the net for as a student version, and free versions are available, and we can utilize these toolboxes for the purpose of the practices, etc. here. Now we will describe here the some data and the here the elementary operators. If we are interested in order to assign a value, then here we write here the x is equal to a 1 and then semicolon. If we write here the semicolon, that it means this command is terminated here. Means we are assigning the x is equal to 1, y is equal to 3.14159. And if we are interested in order to get the addition, then z is a new vector or the new value variable, that is the x plus y. Then this will become this value here. And when we press the enter, here there is no semicolon. And if we press, then we will get here the result here. Similarly, it is true for the subtraction also. Multiplication, 2 multiplied by y, this will become the 2 times of the whatever is the value of the y. And z is equal to 1 by 4. And then if we press the enter key here, we will get the result here. Similarly, if we are interested in order to get the 5 to the power 3, then we can get here write the 5 cap 3 here, and we will get the result here. Now, vector operators or the scalar operations here, as we have described in the previous PPT, if we are interested in order to add the two value to a matrix, and the matrix is here the something like say this is the 1, 2, 3, and if we add them here the 2 to this matrix, then we will get new matrix, that is 3, 4, 5 here. If we write here the semicolon, that is the next row will be started here. And subtraction and multiplication, division can also be operated with the help of the in the similar manner, that is the vector operators for the using the scalar operations here. And for the summation, say any vector or any say variable x is defined as 1, 2, 3, 4. That is, in there is a row here the row vector, and if we are interested in order to get the summation, then just write here the sum of the x, and we will get here the summation of that one. Similarly, if we are interested in order to get the product, we will write here the product of this one here, and this one is a column matrix here. Now, if we are interested for the inner product, that is, if there are the two vectors, that is x and y, x is the x1 to xn, y is the y1 to yn. As we know, in order to get the inner product, that here the row is multiplied by the column. So here in order to and how the value will be arranged, that will be equal to the summation of the xi multiplied by the yi, I is equal to 1 to n, and here the number of the elements in the rows and column must be same. And say here that we consider the x as a 1, 2, 3 in a row, and these are in the columns here. So when we multiply them, we will get here the total result as equal to 14. Transpose of any matrix, transpose, that is the rows will be converted into the columns and vice versa here. So in order to get the transpose of any matrix, we just write here the x here, and we will get here the transpose of the matrix here. Cross product of the two matrices, say x is defined by this one, y is defined by this one, and if we are interested in order to get the cross product, then we have to just write here the command z equal to cross x comma y here, and we will get here the result. If we are interested vector operation element wise, suppose we are interested element wise operation, then we have to use the operators with the help of the here the dot and then operator here, except only the addition and subtraction. Addition and subtraction remains same here. And suppose we are interested in order to get the element wise operation for the multiplication, and x is given as the 1, 2, 3, y is given as 2, 4, 6, and we are interested in order to get the element wise operation, means first element will be multiplied by first one, second to second, third to third one. So here we will write here the x, that before the here the asterisk, that is a multiplication operator, we will put here the dot, then multiplication by, we will get here first multiplied by first, second to second, third to third, and we will get the result in this manner. Same is true for the division and power also here. Now we can get here the some other type of the operations, like the if we are interested in order to calculate the mean of any vector, then we have to just write here the mean of this one. And if we are interested in order to get the largest element in a matrix, then we will write here the C max and then matrix here. And at the same time, if we are interested in order to get the largest element as well as the position of that element, then we have to write here the in parenthesis, here bracket we will write the D comma N max of the A. For example, say if we are interested in order to get the mean of any value at A is 5924, here a character is required between any two consecutive elements. Either there must be a comma or there must be a gap here. We have put here the comma here 5924, and the mean of this one, that is the mean of this one, will become the 5 here. Similarly, we are interested in order to get the maximum of the maximum value of this matrix here. The maximum value is the here the this one is the 9 here. And if we are interested in order to get the value as well as its position, then we have to write the this command, that is the here the D comma N max of A here. And this, in order to get the summation, we will put here the sum of S in order to sort the element, that is we are interested to arrange the elements in ascending order, then write here the sort A, and in order to get the median A, returns the median value of the vector here. Now, in order to get the standard deviation, just use here the STD, and to get the determinant of the square matrix, so here the DET and inverse of any matrix INV, dot product of any matrix DOT dot, and in order to get the cross product, we just write here the cross. So these are the mathematical operations that can be done in very easy way with the help of the MATLAB here. Now, if during the time of the modeling and the simulation, there is a need of the random sources, or the random number has to be generated here. For that purpose, we have to use the different types of the command for the different types of the number are the values that have to be generated here. For example, if we write the RAND, it generates the single random number between 0 and 1. And if we write the rand 1 comma n in parenthesis, then it generates n random number, that is the row vector between 0 to 1 here. For example, we have considered here the one example random 1 comma 4, that is here the 4 random numbers will be generated and their values will be between the 0 to 1 here. If we write here the RANDN, that is the n cross n, here the random matrix, random numbers matrix will be generated, and the values of these elements will be from 0 to 1. And this is the example here that we have considered RAND4, and this is the matrix that has been generated by entering the here by pressing the enter key due to this command here. Similarly, if we write here the RAND comma n, then we will generate m cross n matrix with random numbers between 0 and 1. And if we write here the random number n, that will generate a row vector with n elements that are permutations of the integers 1 through n here. And if we write RANDN, then it will generate normally distributed numbers with mean 0 and standard deviation of 1. There is a difference between the RANDN and RAND in parenthesis up here. If we write in parenthesis n here, then it will generate n cross n matrix with random numbers between 0 and 1. And it will generate here the, if we write RAND without parenthesis here, then it will generate the normally distributed numbers with mean 0 and standard deviation of the 1. Basic math operations can be performed with the help of the here the MATLAB commands, like the algebraic operations, logic operations, comparison operations, and reduction and transformation of the analytical solutions and basic operations in the number theory here. For example, if we are interested for the vectors and matrices, that is we are interested in order to vectors, that is arrays, have to be defined. Then in order to define one row, that is the row matrix 1, 2, 4, 5, and if we press enter key, then we will get this result here. 1, 2, 4, 5. That is the row matrix. Similarly, in order to get the column matrix, 1 semicolon, 2 semicolon, and like that, you will get here the 1, 2, 4, 5 as the column matrix. If we are interested in order to generate the two-dimensional arrays, that is the rows and column, then accordingly we will enter here the values as per our requirement. This is the example in order to generate the two-dimensional array. Now, for the common operators, addition, multiplication takes place in this manner, and we have already described that how we will get the inverse of any matrix, or how the matrices will be multiplied, added, etc. here. Now, if we are interested in order to index, means indexing is required using the parenthesis here. If we have defined any matrix A, as in the previous PPT we have defined A, and now we are interested in order to select the element that belongs to the second row, third column. So if we write the A2, 3, second row, third column, see here, second row and the third column, this value will be selected, 6 will be selected here. Similarly, if we write here the A2, 3 and then comma 1, 2, then second and third row and first and second column, second row, third row, first column and the second column. We will get here these values, that is 4 minus 5, 5 and 6. But the ordering is also very important here. For example, if we change the order, then we will get here the another values. So here if we write the A32 and that is order has been changed, third row, second row, first third row and the second row, the second and first column. So we will get here the another values than that of the first one here. If we are interested in order to index a particular row, all the elements of a particular row, then if we are interested for the first row, A1 comma then colon here, and we will select this one here. Similarly, if we are interested for the two rows, first and second, we will enter this one. And if we are interested in order to introduce the elements in a matrix, that is the initial value is 1 and last final value is the 5. And if we write this type of the command, that is 1 column 5 here, then there will be a gap of the 1. By default, a gap of the two consecutive elements will be considered as 1. And if we are interested in order to define a gap between the two consecutive elements, then that has to be entered between the initial and the final values of the elements. That is the here the second one. See the first one, in this one we have written 1 column 5, 1 to 5. That is the here the gap of the two consecutive elements is considered as 1. But here we have introduced the gap of the 2. So the first is 1, next 3, then next will be the 5 here. Here the many elements matrices predefined. In order to define any elements as we have described, if we are interested in order to know the function of the element, just write here the help and then gap and the name of the function, and you will get here the result. To get the determinant of a matrix, write the det, rank of the matrix, RAN, rank, and eigenvalue of the matrix EIG here. Here, as we know, during the time of the implementation of the algorithm, we have to take care of the numbers, because when we say we have to describe the algorithm means what? Means it is operating on the signal, and algorithm is itself a set of the coefficients. So number operates on the numbers. So we have to here the select which type of the number representation has to be utilized in order to implement our algorithm. There are the different types of the number representation, like the fixed point and the floating point. In fixed point, we generally use the qm.n number representation, that is the total word length becomes the m plus n plus 1. But the m number of bits are used for the integer portion, and n number of bits are used for the fractional portion, and the most significant bit is used for the sign bit. So the total word length becomes the m plus n plus 1 in the case of the qm.n format here. And similarly, we can use here the floating point number representation. In floating point number representation, there are the two types of the representation. One is the single precision and the second one is the double precision. Single precision is the 32-bit word length and the double precision is the 64 word length here. And for that purpose, we use the here the IEEE 754 standards here. We will also describe the different types of the quantization that are used in the representation of the number system here. So integers are represented as int here. Now these are the some examples that we have taken from the previous discussions here, and now we are coming to the these are the some logical operations related to the ending or in inverting, that is not and x or in, and for the end we can write the a and d, a comma b, that is the two vectors will be ended, or in a comma b not a x r. These are the commands that can be utilized for the purpose of the logical operations here. Matrix comparison, which greater or equal to, less or equal to, greater than, less than, approximately same or exactly same. These are the different types of the comparisons that can be represented with the help of the MATLAB using these symbols here. Here say this is a representation of a vector and we are interested the elements which is greater than here the 4 here, then we will a greater than 4, then we will find the locations which are a greater than 4 here, and that will be represented here. Now during the time of the quantization, different types of the functions are required for the purpose of the flooring, ceiling, rounding, fixing, rational, remainder, GCD, LCM, factor, and whether it is prime or not. For that purpose, we use the different types of the functions here, just related to the type of the operations here. Now the order of the precedence in the numerical computation. The first is the parenthesis, second is the exponentiation, third is logical not, fourth is multiplication and the division, fifth is addition and subtraction, sixth is relational operators, seventh is logical and eighth is logical or here. Now after the mathematical calculation, in order to analyze the performance of any algorithm or operations, the graphical representations are required, as we have discussed in the very beginning, that for the purpose of the graphical analysis, we can utilize any one of the 4 types of the graphical representation: block diagram, signal flow graph, data flow graph, or the dependence graph here. Here we are just going to describe the graphs or the plots having the 2-dimensional plots and the 3-dimensional plots that are related to the numbers here. First of all, we will try to cover the 2-dimensional plots here. That is the plotting basic 2D plots, and then we will describe the plot command, and we will also describe the fplot command and plotting of the multiple graph in the same plot, and then formatting of these plots here will be covered in this section. See, the different types of the plots are required for the purpose of the analysis, that is the polar plot, 3-dimensional plot, or the 2-dimensional simple linear graph here. And in addition of the plot, some editing is also required, that is the plot title is required, y-axis labels are required, x-axis labels are required, tick mark labels are required here, data symbols are required, and something has to be written at a particular location of the position in order to compare the results here, so that a text and its location is required, and legends are required. So we will try to cover these portions, means how the graphical representation will be done and how we will include this type of the editing in this one. Suppose we have the 2 parameters or the 2 matrices are having, one is the x and the second one is the y, that is the 2 variables having their values, and then first of all we will define the x and y, and then it will write the plot. See here, very simple command, that plot x comma y, then we will get a graph between the x and y here. We are just coming to the example here. Say the x is defined as the 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 7.5, 8, and 10, and y is this is the data that is given, and we are interested in order to get a graph here. So first define the x in the MATLAB here the command window, like the x is 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, like whatever are the values, they will be entered as the element, and then semicolon in order to describe the next one, y, and then right here the plot x comma y, press the enter button. You will get the result, and this is the result here. Now, if we draw the plot here, that is, we will write here the plot command without any specifications, then by the default, we will get the plot blue in color, solid line, and though no specifications are required, there is no any type of the symbols will be utilized in the graph. Now, for the line specifiers, we will again use the same command, that is the plot, but at the same time we have to use the line specifiers, that is plot x comma y, then line specifiers. Here the specify the style of the line, specify the color of the line, and specify the type of the markers here. So in order to specify the line style, we can use the solid line with the dash, colon, dotted, dash, 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 dot, dot, here the dash, dash, and the dash dot. Then red in color, R. For green color, we will use the letter G, blue B, cyan C, magenta M, yellow Y, black K. And for the different types of the markers, plus sign, plus, circle, O, asterisk, point, square, and the diamond. These are the different types of the style, color, and the markers that will be utilized here. So if we write here the plot x comma y. So whether I'm audible? Yeah, response is required from the participant side.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for responding. Plot x comma y, a solid blue line connects the points with no markers. That is, there is no marker. It will be used only the plot x comma y. Then what will be the color of the plot x comma y? Yeah, please. As we have discussed in the previous slide, see here, we have taken the example. In this one, we have taken this one, that is the plot x comma y, and we discussed that by default, the color of the line will be the blue, solid line, and no marker here. So if we use this type of the command here, see, this is the summary of the all types of the plot command, that is plot x comma y, a solid blue line connects the points, that is the no marker, and if we write the plot x comma y, that is the red in color but no marker, and x comma y dash dash, that is the here the dashed line will be will connect with the here the yellow in color, and here the asterisk no line that is the marker will be the asterisk here. Green is this one, plot x comma y, G colon D, that is the green in color, and the dotted line and markers will be the diamond shape. Now again we are taking the example, that is the year and sales. The year is given here, since there is a uniform gap of the 1, so we have just taken the example of this one, and we have represented with the help of the previous command, that is the initial value, final value, and then its gap. Even if we do not use this one, we can write here the first and the final value, and we will get we can define the year here. Similarly, we have defined the sales, and then plot x comma y, then line specifier, that is the dashed red, R is dashed here, the dash is the style, red in color, and marker is the asterisk. See, this is the plot that is due to the returns due to the our commands which ever we have written in the previous slide here. Now suppose we consider the example, y is equal to 3.5, its form minus 0.5x cos 6x, and x lies from minus 2 to 4. And then in order to describe this one, if we write here the percentage simple, then it is not part of the program or the command, but this is a description. So here we have described this one, and x, the value has been defined here, y is defined in terms of the equation, and we write here the plot x comma y here. See here, this is the graph between the x and y, sinusoidal damping function. So, and having the negative value, so damping down here towards the 0. And now see, if we change the gap between the two consecutive elements of the input, in the previous case, what was the gap? Here see, in the previous case we have defined the x from -2 to 4 having a universal gap of the 0.01 between the two consecutive elements here. But so this is the smooth curve here. But here we have taken a gap of the 0.3. Why we are getting this type of the shape? Why it is not the smooth curve as we have achieved in the first PPT? Any response, please? Why we are getting this type of the curve? Because of this one. So the shape of the curve will depend upon the gap between the two consecutive elements. Larger is the gap, here the smaller is the gap, better will be the response. And here, since the larger is the gap, so we are not getting the response as good as in the previous PPT here. Now, here the plots can also be achieved by using the fplot command here. If we write the fplot, then first we have to define the function and then its limits. Limits, that is for the x-axis and the y-axis. For the x-axis, x minimum to x maximum, or we can describe both the limits, that is the x minimum to x maximum and the y minimum to y max here. Now say suppose we consider the example of this function, that is y is equal to x square plus 4 sine x minus 2, and x lies between -3 to 3. Then f plot, this is the function. First describe the function, whatever is the function. This has been described, and then the range is -3 to 3 here. We will get this response here. Using the fplot command, we can directly plot the command using the fplot command here. So plotting two or more graphs in one plot. So first using the plot command, and then we will describe this here the plotting of the two or more graphs in one plot using the hold on and the hold off command here. Suppose we write here the plot x comma y, u comma b, t comma s, then we will get here the three graphs between the x and y, u and v, t and h. But all three curves will have the same color, that is the blue in color. And if we write here the plot x comma y, and then it is blue in color, u comma b red in color, and t comma h green in color. And this is the style here. We have used the different styles. Now see here the examples. For example, if we consider this is a equation here. First we have to define the x, and then we have to define the y, and say the differentiation of the y is yd. Then differentiation of the yd will become this one. Again, the second differentiation is the yd, say written as the ydd. Then this is the value of the ydd here. Now we are interested to draw the graph between the x and y, that is blue in color, and here the dash that is solid light, then x and yd, then dash dash and red in color, y double d black in color here. See the results here. So these are the three colors having the three graphs in a same plot. So we have what we have done in this case, we have used the plot command having the x comma this one y, and this and then we have utilized the line specifiers, then x comma yd line specifiers, x comma ydd line specifiers, and this is the result here. Now suppose we are going to describe here, suppose we are interested in order to describe the same type of the curves in a single plot using the hold on and hold off command. Then suppose we take the function, this one having the range of the x from -2 to 4, first define the x, function y, then differentiation of the function is say yd, second differentiation of the function is this one, plot x comma y in color here, and then hold on, then plot, and the plot this one, then hold off here. Now, in order to describe here, we have seen that the same can be described here using the hold on and hold off command here. And after these plots, if we are interested for the editing of the graph, then naturally we have to introduce the plot title, y label, x label, x-axis label, and the tick mark on x-axis, tick mark on the y-axis, and a comparison, that is a comparison text, that may be the movable text, and the legend in order to represent the different types of the graphs here. So we have to add the title to the plot, add labels to the axes, change range of the axes, add legend, add text blocks, and add grid here. So we are just, in order to add the title, we have to use the title, then whatever is the string right here, x label, then x string here, y label, and write the string here, and the axis, that is the range of the axis, x minimum to x maximum, y minimum to y max here. Legend, what is the on the string for the string 1, string 2, string 3, accordingly we can introduce here the legend, and text, say at the position of the xy, which position we are
हाँ रिकॉर्डिंग नेट डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया नेट डिस्कनेक्ट चला गया था जस्ट मैं आ गया जाके चला आया लेकिन चला
so due to the network issue, I think there was a break. Again, we are coming to the previous slide. In this one, we have mentioned that we have how we will introduce the x level, y level, and the title on the x-axis and y-axis, etc. here. And we have introduced the distance in centimeter on the x-axis, and on the y-axis we have introduced the intensity, legend, theory, and experiment. And this is the text that has been introduced at the level of the 14 and the 700. So another type of the texting we can use here the edit, and then from the edit we can introduce here the different types of the editing. We can insert here to use the insert menu, and we can click here at this one to start the plot edit mode, and insert x level, y level we can select here. And these are the some examples that represent the different types of the another additional plots here. So far we have used the plot command, that is a very plain plot between the x and y. And if we write only the plot x comma y, then we will get a simple plot. And if we are interested for the semi-logarithmic plot, then we will write here the semi-log x comma y, and say the y axis has to be logarithmic, then we will write the semi-log y x comma y. And if we are interested to consider the x-axis as logarithmic, then we will write the semi-log x comma y. And if we are interested for both the axes, then we will write the log x comma y here. If we are interested for the here the stem chart, that is bar chart here, then for the bar chart we will write the bar, then x comma y, and then line is specified here. Here we have described the year, and then y, that is the dependent parameter, is the cell here, and this is the bar chart. Similarly, we are interested for the horizontal bar chart, we have to utilize the command bars bar h. And this is blue in color. We can introduce the line specifiers for a particular type of the line and style here. And similarly, if we are interested for the staircase graph here, so for the staircase, right here the stairs, and then x comma y. And for the stem plot, we can use the command step. And for the pie chart, we have to use the pie. For example, we are interested in to represent the grade in a particular class, and suppose 11 students had got the A grade, 16B, 18C, like that. Then we have to write here the pi, then grade, and title can be introduced here, as we have discussed in the previous PPTs here. In order to get the polar plot, we have to utilize the polar command, and this is the again the polar command utilized here, and this is polar command with the fill space color field here. This is bar chart, and this is again the example of the pie chart. Now we are coming to the three-dimensional plots here. So far we have discussed the numerical representation, two-dimensional representation of the graph or the plot. Now we will just here they introduce the three-dimensional plots, how the three-dimensional plots will be represented here. For the line plots, three-dimensional line plots, we can use the plot 3. As we the two-dimensional plots, we use only the plot command, but for the three-dimensional line plots, we have to use the plot 3, then x comma y comma z, and naturally we have to define the x, y, z, and then line specifiers, property name, and the property value here. For example, if we define the x, y, z in terms of the t, and t is defined from 0 to 10 pi here, having a gap of the pi by 50, and x is square root t multiplied by sine 2t, and similarly we have defined here the y and the z in terms of the t. These are function of the t, and we are interested in order to get the three-dimensional plots between the for the x, y, z, and black in color line with 1 and reading facility. Then and on the x level we are interested in order to write the x, y level y, z level z. Then accordingly we can here the write the commands and press the enter button. You will get the result. This one. Now plotting the matrix data. Suppose the x, y is defined and z is defined in terms of the x and y, that is the x multiplied by e to power minus x square minus y square, and we are interested in order to get the three-dimensional plots. Here that's again the same type of the example, but having the another different function, and we will get this result here. Again, it is also related to the same. And MATLAB graphics can also be utilized for the surface plot and the contour, surface contour plot, mesh plot, etc. Here, if we write the mesh or the surf, this is the surface plot, mesh C, surf C, surface plot with contour plot beneath it, and mesh Z, surface plot with curtain plot are the reference plane, and the P color command is used for the flat surface plot, and surf L, it is a command for the surface plot illuminated from specified direction, and surface, we write the surface low level function on which high level functions are based for the creating surface graphics object. Mesh and surface plot, we have described this one, that the mesh and the surf commands create three-dimensional surface plot of the matrix data. If Z is a matrix for which the elements Zij define the height of the surface over an underlying Ij grid, then mesh Z generates a colored wireframe with the width of the surface and displayed it in a 3D view. Here we have defined the x, y, and xy mesh grading here. Then z is described in terms of the xy, and we are interested for the mesh command here. Just write the mesh x comma y comma z, and what has to be written on the x level, y level, and z level. We will enter this one, and after pressing the enter button, we will get this result here. If we are interested to describe the mesh grid for a sine r by r function here, so in this one there is a element wise operation is required here. We have described here the gridding of the xy, then r is square root 2, that is in under root x square plus y square, and we have defined the z in terms of the sine r by r, having the element wise operation, that is the dot then operator, and we will get this result here. Similarly, we can get here the surf. We can utilize the surf command for the surface plot, and the surf for the surface plot again we have taken the another example, that is the x ranging from -3 to 3, having a uniform gap of the 0.25, and y is defined -3 to 3, and z is defined in terms of the x and y, and then we have used here the surf command in order to plot it. To get the surface plot here, surf x comma y comma z, and this is the surface plot related to this command here. Surface plot of the non-uniformly sampled data. For example, we use here the sync function or the sampling function. We can use the same type of the command here. Suppose this is a random numbers are generated x and y, and then we will define the z in terms of the x, y, and we will grade them, and then we will use here the mesh command or the surf command in order to get the result. This is the result here. Mesh z is also a command that creates mesh plot with the curtain plot here. This routine only works for surface defined on a rectangular grid here. For example, if x is defined, y is defined, and grading of the xy takes place here, and z is defined in terms of the xyz. And if we write the mesh z here, see here, only the curtain plot will be shown here. Here if we write the mesh c, then mesh plot and the contours will be represented here underneath this one. As we have described in the previous slide, here we have utilized mesh C in order to include the contour plot also here. Similarly, surf C will be the surface plot as well as the contours here. And surf L is the same as surf function, but what is the exception here? That it draws the surface with highlights from a light source. These are example of the waterfall. In waterfall, we again define the x, y, and we write here the command, that is the waterfall. X level and the y level will be entered here. This is mesh grading contour. Here, if we are interested only for the contour, for example, x, y, z are defined, then we are interested for the contour, and 15 contours are required. Then see here, the 7 contours towards this side, 7 towards this side, and one is this one here. That is the total 15 contours are there. If we are interested for the here the sphere and using the surf command here, then here the first define the sphere, and here if we write the x, y, z sphere n, it generates the 3n plus 1 by n plus 1 matrices, so that surf x, y, z produces a unit sphere, and x, y, z sphere uses n is equal to 20 here. Here we can use the top view, side view, or the left side view, right side view, with the help of the azimuthal and the here the elevation angle. If we write here the XY top view, it means the azimuthal angle is 0, elevation angle is 90. Similarly, the azimuthal is 0 and elevation is 0, then that is the XZ side view. YZ side view is the 90 to 0 here, and these are the description of the different side view, and using these one we can get here the side view of the 3-dimensional plots here. suppose we have shown here that this surface plot, and then we are interested in order to get the side view and top view, then accordingly to the azimuthal and the elevation angle, we can get here the side left side view or the right side view or the top view of the three-dimensional plots here. Effective of the spectral analysis. This example, this is the example which we are using. I think the time has been over. That's why the organizers are giving some signals to conclude this one. So in this session, we have gone through the different types of the functions which we have utilized. There are so many other functions that can be utilized, like the 4 zeros at the fourth roots, and or we can use the different types of the whatever is the function, whether that one is very simple or that one is the very complex, that can be drawn with the help of the commands here. We can use the polynomials here. If the polynomials coefficients are given, then we can get the polynomial equation here, and we can draw the graph here, the plot of the x comma y. Similarly, we can utilize here the polynomials is given. We can calculate here the roots, and we can draw the graph. Here we can use the different type of the command, like this y is equal to single x converts the vector x to single precision. Int x converts the element of the array x into the signed 8-bit, and 16 it converts the elements of the array x into the signed 16-bit here. And for example, we can also process the image also. For example, if we write here the image read, read, it reads image from the graphics file here. And there are so many another examples here that can be utilized for the purpose of the signal processing, whether that one is the single one-dimensional or the two-dimensional. Or we can also utilize this MATLAB for the purpose of the client or the server. So this is about the basic concept of the MATLAB that can be utilized in programming using the .m file, or then .m file can be arranged in such a manner that it is utilized as a toolbox. And we can also utilize here the block diagram for the purpose of the description of the any system. So thank you very much for being with us and for patience hearing. And I think you people will be benefited by this lecture. And if there is any query, you can contact us. And this lecture will be also available on the YouTube, and the YouTube link will be given to you. So thank you. Thanks to Dr. Maneshji and other organizers, Dr. Pandita and local team, and thanks to participants. And again, I am thankful to our chief guest and guest of honor for supporting us. And we are very much thankful to our honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, who has given us the opportunity and motivated us in order to organize this program. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, respected speaker, Professor Krishna sir. Now I like to open the Q&A session for the audience. So in the audio, all the participants, I am requesting, if you have any question regarding this session, you can post it in the chat box, or you can directly ask our respected speaker, sir, by unmuting yourself. So we'll have 2 minutes for all the questionnaires, sir. So if you have any questions in your mind regarding MATLAB, its applications, or what type of toolbox are available, anything like that, you can ask right now.
So, sir, this is the first session, and we will continue it in the second session, that is on 14th July also. So, kindly announce this one.
So, participants, today, like today also only, the second day of this program, as it is a 2-day webinar program. Second day is 14th, day after tomorrow. That day, the same session will be resumed on 11 a.m. And that day, your also feedback will be there. And depending on the feedback of today's and day 2 also, you will issue the certificate. So I am requesting all the participants to join the second day also at sharp 10:55 a.m. as the lecture will be started or webinar will be started at sharp 11 a.m. So I am requesting all the participants to join the second day program on 14th July 2021 at 11 a.m. And if you have any questions, please ask, or we'll wait for 30 seconds. Then we'll close the session. Harshali Verma. Okay, sir. Okay. I think, sir, there is no question from participant side till now. I think they have the all the clarity about the basics regarding that. Now, I again thank Professor Krishna sir for the wonderful session and starting from the you have started the MATLAB lecture from very basic. Whoever first time joined this program, it is very fruitful to them because maximum webinars everyone started from the advanced level. You have started from the very basic, so it is very fruitful for the participants, I think. And for that, I am thanking you again. And we'll close the today's session and we'll resume the session on 14th July 2021 and at 11 a.m. Sir, thank you, sir.
So thank you, Dr. Samakaraji, and thanks to one and all. Please conclude today's session. And now I can leave it. No?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll
Thank you.
close the session.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, sir.